Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am coming to you with another random haul. I know you all liked this last time and I decided to just keep putting them in here. It seems as if the prepper and survival content is doing great on the channel. I've been doing some other videos in the garden just for you people that always watch my videos. Big shout out to all of you. Thank you for that. But these videos, I guess they don't really come naturally to me. Of course, I love sharing what I purchase, but a lot of the times I'm not purchasing certain things weekly. I am purchasing things throughout the month to be prepared on a budget. So with that being said, if you're new here, hi, hello. My name is Tori. I am a wife, mother to 3, and newly stay-at-home mom. I am a resigned teacher and I learned a lot in that sector of my life, but now that I'm at home, I am learning a lot about being on a budget and just being more prepared in general. So we are not always preparing for emergencies. We could be preparing for the week to come, but we prepare for so many reasons: job loss, inflation, food shortage, any sort of emergency situation. There is a lot out there that you can prepare for. So if you're looking at prepping and survivalism as some daunting, threatening thing, please know that you are in the right place. We are going to do this together in a calm and positive way is what I like to say. So if you are new here, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you introduce yourself in the comments. We all love to get to know all of you, and I'm going to get you turned around and show you what I got. And this has been probably the last 3 weeks or so, so not a full month yet, but I do have some more water tablets to get, just some water purification tablets, and that was last on my list. I've been really focusing on water. I talk about it a lot, and then I didn't talk about it in one video and someone called me out. So that is why I always talk about water on the channel, but it's very important and essential. So if you're not seeing something in one of these hauls, please know that I do have it in the back of my mind. Just know that some of these items on here are going to be useful to you and some are not. So just definitely prep what you can for your family and make it specific to your family. When you watch these videos, I mainly want you to go home with inspiration to prepare on a budget, and that is what I have just been focusing on these last couple of years. So without further ado, I'm going to get you turned around and show you what I got this month. Okay, you are turned around. I'm showing you everything that I got. I know, very, very random, but I have everything laid out for you. So starting over here, we of course got rice. We've talked about it for, I don't know, I've talked your ears off about rice, but recently there's been a lot of talk of it. If you're not seeing a shortage of rice right now, I think it's going to be coming just because of some issues with India, and I really think that everyone should stock up on these kinds of things. I'm going to put this in Mylar bags, and I just went to Kroger this week. Of course, you can find bulk items at Sam's Club. I actually canceled my membership. I don't really shop there too much. I shop at Azure Standard a lot more, so if you have not checked them out, go ahead and check them out. I'm not really affiliated with them. I just really love them, so that's why I always mention Azure Standard. They just have a really great online website to get a lot of these items. So I have long grain rice here, and I do a lot with rice, of course. And some of you have told me you don't like rice. That's cool. This is just something that I have randomly stocked up on. You can grind this down to make a flour. There's just a lot that you can do with it. And honestly, I have heard so many ways to preserve rice. I put mine with an oxygen absorber in a Mylar bag and call it good. I don't do any freezing. I don't do any of that. And maybe some of you may call that foolish, but I don't do it. I think we will be just fine. But this stores essentially indefinitely, and I think it's a really great thing to have on your prepper pantry. But when I'm talking about a Mylar bag and all that storage, you also need oxygen absorbers. And I owe somebody a thank you. Someone sent me these Wallaby Goods oxygen absorbers. I had mentioned recently that I ran out of them. So I reached out to the rep, and Wallaby has not sent me anything recently. I worked with them in the past, but yes, whoever you are in the world, thank you so much. I really needed these, and I was just holding on to our budget a little bit longer, and then I was going to purchase. So I appreciate you, whoever you are. If you feel comfortable in the comments calling yourself out, I owe you I don't know, a digital hug or something like that. So thank you for that. All right, next up on the list is going to be pure organic beeswax. Now, I like to use this for a variety of things, but my plans for this bag is to hold on to it. I will tell you what I like to use it for though. I do make my own lip balms. Sometimes I make my own lotions, and beeswax is great for that, but it also deters water. So you can coat things with beeswax, and I like to make our own little replacement for plastic wrap. I just take organic fabric, usually muslin that I find at the store, and I tear it. Sometimes I hem it, but not all the time. If I'm using muslin, I will hem it, and then I make them into little squares. I coat this in beeswax. All I do is put those little fabric squares onto a baking sheet and bake it low and slow for not that long, maybe 10 minutes, enough to melt the wax. So all I do is take the beeswax, sprinkle it on top of there, and then you just allow it to cool overnight, and then you have a way to put a cover on anything you need for the refrigerator. I mean, you can use it in your pantry. There's a lot that you can use these for. It is recommended that you use pine resin to mix with this, but I honestly haven't seen a huge difference. So if you can get your hands on pine resin to combine it with the beeswax pellets so you can make these fabric squares to replace your plastic wrap, you can do that, but I typically don't. And then when I need to wash it, all I do is wipe it down with some vinegar and water. Unless it's like wildly messy, then I will wash it with soap and water. But that is something that I stock up on probably monthly. I probably should have like a subscribe and save for Amazon for beeswax, but let me know in the comments what your favorite thing to do with beeswax are. Let me know if any of you raise bees. I would love some insight into that, because of course I would love some of my own honey, but I would also like to know a little bit more about beeswax and how you preserve that. Next on the list is 2 things for acidity. I am actively in canning season right now. I just did a video on it and it did not get that many views, but that's okay. I get it. I understand some of you like what you like, but it was the last video. If you want to go check it out, that would be super helpful to my family right now. But anyways, I like to can. I like to preserve our garden harvest. I also like to support local farms that I know and trust, and then can in that way. And I am canning with a water bath canner. I have not found a great way to pressure can that I enjoy. I mean, I know there are many ways, but someday soon I can invest in that venture as well. But recently there's been an issue with vinegar going to a 4% acidity. So I looked, this was 5%. Luckily, I've heard it all around the country. I haven't personally seen it yet. So I just got some distilled white vinegar, and I got the larger one, but I had someone shopping for me and they picked up the smaller one. So that is okay. But of course, I needed some lemon juice, and both of these can act as something acidic in your canning, but they do 2 different jobs. So you can't use them interchangeably. You really need to know like what you're actually canning. So every veggie and every fruit has a different way that you need to add acidity to it, if that makes sense. Canning is not something that I can coach you on. It's just something I personally do. I don't really feel comfortable giving huge advice about canning, but definitely do your own research. Acidity was a big one this month, and I keep running out. So I will probably go back to the store and get many more vinegars and lemon juices. And I've been asked if I've made my own vinegar. I have. I make apple cider vinegar every single year. We do a big apple orchard family day, and that takes care of our apples for the year. We usually just do some sort of canning project, like apple pie filling or something like that, and then we put some in freezer bags. We of course eat some. We make apple juice, we make apple cider, but then we save all of the extras and we make apple cider vinegar as well, and that's really not that hard to do. I will link link the video that I did that in, and you can check it out. But again, very, very easy. So I've made my own vinegar, but I don't think I could use it in canning. If you have made your own vinegar and used it in canning, let me know in the comments. I'd love your insight on that as well. Next on the list is literature. So I just left these out to remind myself. I don't have it pictured because I just ordered it and I'm really excited. It is the Prepper's Guide to Survival. It was super inexpensive and I jumped on it. So I will link it, do all that in the comments below, and I will link some more literature in the description box that I have been stocking up on prepping, if that makes sense. I really think that a prepper library should coexist with your prepper pantry. Sorry, I was chatting with you but not facing you, but I really think everyone should stock up on physical books. Digital, yes, great, but if anything were to happen, just get those digital copies and get them on paper. I think it's super, super important. And again, I will link all of these. They are affiliate links, so of course, thank you for supporting it, but they have valuable information in there. And I will say there is one more thing in that description box, and that is seeds. Luckily, I went to my local farm stand and they have buy one, get one free. So I encourage you to get out there and look for buy one, get one free. I always find them August until around November, and sometimes people are just giving out seeds. You can check your local library for a seed bank, but heirloom non-GMO is what you're looking for. If you can't find them anywhere near you, I have linked the medicinal seeds that I always mention in every video. You get like 2,500 seeds, and then you get a book on what to do with those seeds and how to use them medicinally and for other things in your kitchen. So I suggest checking that out. I think it's a great price, and I got 2 of them, I said before, and I got one to plant this season and next season, and then I got one to preserve. So you can put those seeds in Mylar, you can freeze them if you want. There's a lot that you can do with them depending on the seed, but definitely check out that link if you're not finding seeds in your area. Please remember, non-GMO heirloom seeds are the best seeds that you can have. I, of course, am going to be taking from the seeds in my garden and preserving them as well, but you can never have enough seeds. They don't take up a lot of space, and oftentimes they are super inexpensive. I have a newborn waking up next to me here. She might be dreaming though, so we are pressed for time. Organic lemon grass. I get all of these at Natural Grocers. Some I grow in the garden, some I do not. It just depends how I'm feeling that season. But Natural Grocers has decided not to carry any Appeal products, and that's APEEL, and that is something that is developed and funded by Bill Gates himself. And he claims that whatever this pesticide thing is that they're spraying on these crops will make the crops last longer. I don't know about you, but that seems a little iffy to me. But Natural Grocers has decided that they will not be carrying any producers of the crops that contain Appeal on the skin. So yay for Natural Grocers. That's where I'm doing most of my shopping. As expensive as it can be, they always have a $2 bin of produce. Just ask for it and you can get a lot of really, really good quality produce for a cheap price. So that's my little thing about Natural Grocers. Probably would never be sponsored by them, but a girl can dream, right? Anyways, lemongrass, really, really phenomenal for aches and pains, menstrual cramps, anything like that. I like to make mine into a tea. You of course can make it into a salve, but I find when it's broken apart like this, you're not getting all of the benefits of it medicinally. You could infuse it in an oil if you are picking it from your garden fresh and putting it in there in that way and then make it into a salve, but I typically am using it for tea. Next up, eucalyptus leaf. This is high in antioxidants. It's really, really fabulous in a tea, of course. I actually like to put this in a tea bath. This with a combination of lavender really, really aids in joint health. And I have found I have osteochondritis dissecans in my knees, and sometimes when I'm out in the garden, or sometimes if the weather changes, I know some of you have gone through that experience. I have aches and pains, and taking a bath with this just feels great. So I think it's really good to have in your prepper pantry instead of taking your typical pharmaceuticals, which we all know how I feel about that. If you're new here, you should go watch some of my other videos to hear my opinion. But we have some thyme leaf over here, and we have some nettle leaf. Again, this is a powerhouse combo for me when it comes to taking a tea bath, but I really do like drinking thyme tea and nettle leaf tea, and my favorite way to do this is making sun tea. Here in Colorado, the sun is intense and it's typically shining almost every day. I feel like we have like 355 days of sunshine. I could be wrong about that. Someone correct me. But yes, I make sun tea all year around because the sun is that intense. But sun tea this time of year is amazing. I like to put some fresh berries in there. Again, that can be high in antioxidants, but I find that it really helps me this season of life. I have been having babies for almost 5 years now, and you know, it takes a toll on a woman's body. So I have found that keeping some of these herbs on hand and growing them in the garden really has just been so helpful. And that is it. Again, I tried to keep it short and sweet, but I just get to talking, and typically I am not talking to adults all day. I'm talking to small humans that need me. So hope you didn't mind that little chit chat. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I am just overjoyed with all of the newcomers to this channel. So again, definitely introduce yourself if you feel comfortable in the comments down below. If you have anything to add to these lists, definitely do that in a positive way in the comments below. Anything that you may need will be linked in the description box. And if you can't find that, that's just on your right hand drop down arrow. If you are watching on your television, I don't think you have access to that. I think it's only open to mobile device and laptops. So if you want to see some of these items and where you can get them, definitely check the description box. If you have any questions, just talk to me down in the comments below. I respond to everybody that is kind in the comments, and I respond to some negativity too, which I'm trying to get better at. So as always, stay adventurous, stay creative, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye everyone.